Hey up guys, myself True Fiction in for the latest episode of The What. Today I've got a man like Kyle Robertson in, who is a DJ and also runs a record label called Mando Records, which is mainly like house vibes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more, I don't want to sort of like pigeonhole it, I've never said that, but it's more, if you had to categorise it, it's more house.
That's what I mean, it's like tech, deep, progressive. Yeah, you've got that. It's not like your different spin-offs, haven't you?
No, we have, but again, I was talking to someone about it the other day, I would just get straight into it. We've got a track by Tonner and Scott Gascoigne, and that's like 128 piano house vibes.
Nice.
But then a few months later, there was a kid from Silco from Berlin, and that's at 136 techno.
Yeah, proper.
Do you know what I mean?
Bumpers.
So it doesn't matter what it is, that's what we try to do with it. But we'll talk about more of it later.
It's good to have variation in it.
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll get on to that. Just start off, like, how you doing, pal? So
yeah.
Like, last time I seen you was New Year's Eve.
Yes, that was a fun gig.
Yeah. Dryad, weren't it?
Yes, and then I had obviously Bower and his mate upstairs with me. And a mannequin.
Yeah, that mannequin was freaky. When I first saw it, I was like, whoa, what?
And they were like, what did they say? No more than 2 people up. Now, it was a good job I was driving, because them ladders were not fun.
Yeah, but I didn't drink much that night, just for that reason. And, you know, at one point, it must have been after you left, the mannequin, I think I was playing just up there on my own, it fell over. And, you know, when you hear the bang, I was like, what was that? Freaked me out, man.
No, it was good. It was good fun. I've not played at Dryworks before. I've known Campbell for a long time.
Yeah, good lad.
So it was nice to sort of get asked to play. Do you know what I mean? Because I was a bit sceptical of it in a way, in a good way, because everyone's more, I guess, bass driven in there. And then I come on and just did my thing. But Campbell was like, so yeah, I was pleased.
Well, it was cool. So it was like, for anyone who don't know, Dryads usually got like 2-3 rooms, but for this, they put the decks above the bar, didn't they? Like in the courtyard bit.
It was like 3 days before, just makeshift, they did it. And if you looked at it first, you were a bit like, do you know what I mean? Because it was all just like wooden last minute, but they did it well. I thought it was fun.
Held up, good job, and yeah, it was just a nice different vibe as well. Just being out there, because obviously you get people who might not necessarily, you know, be into that kind of stuff, but
exactly. Like one room
they've got to listen to it.
One room was like Andy H was headlining, so that was all your D&B stuff, and then the other room was all like your bassline wobblers, I'd call it. So we had such a contrast, and then the bar. But yeah, it was nice. It was good fun.
So I feel like me and Cargo played just like garage and funky house vibes, that kind of stuff. Nothing too hectic.
No.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Yeah, it was good fun, mate.
Yeah, but so let's wind it back then. How long you been DJing, and like, how did you get into that kind of stuff then?
So, obviously, my accent, I'm not from Sheffield, but it's a bit muddled. But I moved to Sheffield in 2004 for uni.
Yeah.
I wanted to be this PE teacher, and I've always sort of been into like dance music through my brother. He used to like listen to the Prodigy, and I always remember that when I was like 5. Always remember it. But anyway, so coming back when I was in Sheffield, we lived in them student digs, Leadmill Point.
Right across the road from Leadmill.
Yeah. And then there was me from Scotland. There was like a guy from Manchester, 2 girls from Liverpool living in the halls in the flat we were in. But there was this kid from Sheffield, and he said, "Oh, I'll take us out. I know where to go." And he said, "Oh, we can get into Gatecrasher for free.
Nice.
But we've got to give leaflets out." And this was like my second time ever in Sheffield. I was 18. I moved into them halls, as I said. My mum and dad were in Hong Kong, because that's where I lived for 6 years before that.
Right.
So do you know what I mean? I'm all on my own.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah. So we went out, we gave leaflets out, and Ferry Costin was playing that night.
Yeah.
And then we went into, do you know what I mean? Because Crasher, they used to do, I think it was like Head Candy the first Saturday of every month, and then Crasher Classics the last Saturday of every month, which is more your trance, like Ferry Costin, Paul Van Dyke.
Vibes.
Yeah, all of that. So, but then they just said, oh, you handed a lot of leaflets out, do you want to come up for us? So like this is again a weekend to being a fresher, and I was like handing flyers out like on a Monday night, a Wednesday night, a Friday night, a Saturday night, and then in Crasher, then you get in for free, which you think is great when you're 18. Yeah, you're like, I don't have to queue jump and all this. And then, yeah, I was just always like upstairs, and there was a guy that played there called Corey Mahoney. I don't know if you remember him.
The name rings a bell, definitely. Yeah.
He used to play up there in the Red Room, as they call it, and also my mates Mark Wagstaff and Jay. They were the funk junkies that played. And when Corey used to play, it was like, you're always in here. I was like, oh, because I work here, mate. And then sometimes you'd be like, oh, I'm just going to the bar, just go on. I'm like, I can't even mix, mate. And he goes, just put the headphones on and just clap. And I was like, I was always into it, but like, obviously seeing him doing it and just seeing like the reactions and stuff, I was like, I want to do this.
Were this records or like CDs? What kind of era are we talking?
This was obviously 2004, so like, I think the CDJ Pioneer Mac 2 or Mac 3 1000 just come out.
Like the one with the vinyl scratch mode.
Yeah, the grey one, which was the 800, but the thousands just came out because you could put an SD card in them.
Before USB. But...
Yeah, way before that. But no, I always remember that. I used to play drums at school, so I understood it.
Like rhythm, you understood your rhythm,
And then the guys that I said before, Mark Wagstaff and Jay, they said again, you're always here. I was like, well, they went, do you want to come up for us as well? So whenever the Head Candy was on, I don't know if you remember, I don't know what it's called. You got Viper Rooms, and opposite it's now called Paris. But before it was called Paris, it was called something else. In Division Street.
I think it's changed name now.
It was way... Bunker. But you used to go like downstairs into it.
Yeah, I remember Paris all too well.
So they did the first unofficial Head Candy after party, and that's how they got away with it, because they had little cards, and basically Waggy just said, just go hand them out to fit girls and sound lads, and that was literally like, do you want to come to an after party? So when Head Candy finished at Crasher, everyone came there, and then I started giving leaflets out for them, and then it became like their promo boy, shall we say. And then that's when obviously DQ started happening. Yeah. They did, don't know if you remember, it was on a Sunday night, it was called Charged.
Yeah, I think they were just before my time, but I remember, I heard the stories, put it that way.
Yeah, so they did Charged, and that was like on 10 o'clock on a Sunday night till 4 a.m. And again, I would go down, give leaflets out just around West Street, come back in. But before the club opened at like 10 o'clock, I'd get down there at 8:30, 9, and Waggy would just say, look, this is, and I would just have a practice on the decks.
Nice.
So, do you remember Dino, lad for Liverpool? He when they had the bar upstairs at DQ, he said, oh, we're going to do a little thing on a Saturday night. It's like a pre-bar for people going to plug.
Right.
So it was like, I don't know, 7 to 9 o'clock. You come in there and get cheap drinks. Everyone get leathered.
Oh, in the upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, good little spot for that kind of thing.
And I remember I was like, he goes, oh, do you want to play? And I was like, just fucking, I was like, yes, I want to
swear.
Right, I was like, okay. No. So I was like, yes, sound. So I was just like a dog with two dicks. I was so happy, mate, to get asked. And I remember going to HMV and like buying all these CDs. Didn't have a clue what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember like, because again it was the Pioneer ones, but I look back now and I was even like mixing off the mixed CDs. I didn't have like the full extended versions.
So when other track starts coming in, you're like, oh, what do I do here?
Yeah, but this guy come up to me and he was like, you're absolutely terrible, you're shocking. I was like, obviously it's not nice to hear.
Cheers, mate.
Right, but I just said, well, if you're so good, why are you not doing it? Why are you not up here? And he was, I'll come show you next week. So I borrowed my mate's decks and I literally just went home and just practice
every night,
all week, like up there just doing it all the time. And then this guy come back and he come in and he goes, go on then, let's have a mix. And he brought all his mates down and he just cocked it up. I remember it so well. Since then, that little boost he gave me, big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I guess, how I got started with it.
That's a great little story, that, at all.
You know what I mean?
I think, yeah, like, at least you showed him.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is it, when you were, I know what it was like as well, when you just kind of buying CDs, and I'm guessing you got to the point where you were just burning off tracks when you did end up finding ones you like.
I remember when I was at uni, like, and even when I finished uni, because I didn't even have a laptop at the time, I like borrowed my mate's password to go into collegiate campus. Yeah. And I'd buy like a stack of CDs for like, you could even buy them on the site like, for like 50.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
You could buy them for like 50p, and then I would like go in and use the printer and like cut off pieces of paper to my CD wallet. That's what I used to do all the time. Yeah, that's I guess how I got started. And then we can not evolve, I'll tell you sort of maybe what happened after DQ. There was, so Charged on Sunday started doing really well. Yeah. Like they started doing Supercharged, which was the last Friday of every month, and that's when they basically Charged, but a bigger version of it.
Yeah, Friday version.
But they got a guest on, so it was the last Friday of every month, and they had like Mickey Slim on, they had Rebecca, they even had the Cuban Brothers. That was just silly. And then we started doing parties at Fez Club.
Which one?
The one which is now Roxy Disco.
Yeah, sound. I remember when that one, it were there for quite a while, so I remember having like Tuesday Club for a short stint when they weren't up at, like, where you know where they have it, up at Student Union.
Yeah.
Yeah, and good venue there, to be fair.
They used to do it once a month after Plug, and it was called like Sunrise Sessions, and that's how we got involved with Plug. Like, we would play at Plug, but we would then, the Plug DJs would then sort of play for Charged, Nocturnal. I wasn't playing too much to begin with, but I was more just running about and getting involved
doing
in
the promo.
Yeah, basically slapping posters up in town. I remember to have like 150 photocopied black and white posters, literally at every bus stop, every bank machine. But then if you got caught by the police or whatever, they took them all off you. Luckily, touch wood, I never got caught. But yeah, we were doing that, and then that evolved, and we were doing it every week. Sunrise went from monthly to weekly, and then they did do you remember Nocturnal?
Yeah, that was at DQ as well.
Well, the brand was Nocturnal Presents, whatever the sub names, and then they moved it they got it at underneath the old Groves in a hotel, if you remember that.
A throwback, isn't it?
And so they did this DJ competition there. Now, because I worked for them, they said if I entered, it would be an unfair advantage. So I was like, right, okay. I changed my name for a period. I called myself Guaylo, which means white man in Chinese. And I got iamguaylo@hotmail.com. I even got a phone, like a page ago phone.
A phone, yeah.
And I sent him a mix, and I'm like, whoa, this is really good. And then I turned up and he went, what are you doing here? I didn't care for one. That was just the reaction I wanted to see. But since then, I got a few gigs off the back of it, which was nice.
It worked out, and I love it. Just like the alias as well, the whole cover story.
Because I was known for playing, like, go back a few steps when that gig I did at DQ upstairs that first time. You must have done it your first one. You get excited and you just want to play all the biggest tunes, the best tunes. I remember playing Body Rocks. You remember that? I can teach you it. It was at 10 o'clock to like 3 people. I'm like, when I look back now, but that's when people were saying to me, look, just chill out and just learn your craft.
So it's your learning curve, isn't it?
Of course it
obviously you're eager, but it just shows that
I'm quite eager.
Well, it shows what you want to be playing when you get to them slots as
well.
Exactly,
do you know what I mean? And that I guess I sort of learned. I've gone off on a tangent and I forgot what I was saying. No, so obviously at Nocturnal, the competition, that's it. I was known for sort of playing the bigger, heavier stuff at the time, I guess, like Electro House when it was big. And
I remember that, because that's when I started like getting into that kind of stuff really, or like around, what we're talking like, 06, 07, 08 kind of times.
Yeah, that's what I like Stupid Fresh and all it was called Fidget House at the time.
Like Jack Beats, all that kind of stuff.
Jack Beats, loved Jack Beats.
Yeah.
All that, but all my friends at the time, they loved like progressive and minimal, which I've not got a problem with. Like, I love all styles, but then there was me playing all this fucking heavy stuff. Yeah, basically, and they were like, right. And when I started playing, where was it? Oh yeah, it just didn't go down well sometimes. So when I made that Alias, and it was completely different to what I normally play, maybe they were just like, oh. And I was like, maybe he's not just a one-trick pony. I'm like, oh, there you go then. Did I have to do that? So
it just shows you've like bred yourself into versatility as well. Yeah. Like you trained yourself to be able to go off in different like avenues and be able to play around.
I remember with, like you were saying, that era. Do you know, obviously Melee now?
Melee, yeah.
They had him at DQ, and I went before.
What, Barry?
Yeah, but he was really young, because I don't know how old he is now, but I think he was like 16 or 17 when he played, and it was just one track. It was my mate. There's a guy called Jack Honore, who's now under the name Creature. He came back to my house after a good send, shall we say, and he showed me this track. So I remember that's how far I've known you back since.
Yeah, so I've been there. So I think it were him and the Heatwave, which is a mad lineup.
Yeah,
bigger than Barry Days, like great. Just DQ in general, good times.
Wicked DQ, ridiculous.
Any other like classic venues that you remember? We're not even onto that part yet, but send
all right. Plug. Me.
Yeah, some good nights down there as well.
I remember, like, I used to go, and I'll openly admit it, obviously I wanted to play all the time, and I would be like smashed, and I would be like at the DJ box packing over, like just watching them what they're doing. And yes, it was good to be eager, do you know what I mean? But I'll openly admit I was probably a bit too eager and maybe rubbed some people up the wrong way, but it's just, you learn from it, I suppose. But yeah, I remember they messaged me one time, and it was like a Saturday about 7 o'clock, and they said, look, I know this is last minute, we need someone to play tonight at 2 o'clock closing set. We'll give you this, we'll buy you whatever drinks you want, you can have as many guest lists because I know it's last minute. I was like, right, okay. And I was at my friend's getting pissed up, and I was like, right, we're going. So I remember walking to Plug, and they were like, where's this? Oh, these guests you said you've got to come in, and I just went, and then they all just come around, they were all hiding behind the corner, and I was just like, yes. So went in, played, and then they offered me a residency with them.
They love to see that.
There was me and 3 other guys, there were me and 2 other lads, Matt Murray and a guy called Rick Wainwright, and what we would do is we'd rotate it, so someone would warm up, someone would do the main, and then someone would do the close, and we did that every week to make it fair.
That's a nice way of doing it though, at least. That's
it, that was fun. I guess there's another little venue that was called Lion's Lair, don't know if you remember.
Lion's Lair,
yeah. My friend Graham owned it, and well, we can't talk about that one here, but we had some good lock-ins there, shall we say. But yeah, again, same, like we used to play Nocturnal sometimes, and then you could literally just walk up to it. So we'd always try to get we had like D Ramirez back in there, and we were just, and then Graham let me play there a few times, and then again it built up and I played there loads. So again, plugging Lions was great. Really good.
So I only went a few times, but always a good vibe when I was there. And then did they change it to like Yorkshireman's after or something like that?
It changed into a rock bar.
Yeah, but I think Yorkshireman's moved from round the corner, so that used to be up closer to Wetherspoons, you know, at Benjamin Huntsman. I think they move round.
I think it's completely closed now.
It's part of that new hotel, innit? Or something like that.
Yeah, it's fun though.
Yeah, all the old times, all the old venues, some classics there. When did you start Mando Records then? Like, what led to that, and how did you get to pinpoint where it's like, right, let's put some music out, and like, you know, picking people's stuff out as well.
So I've been making music, and I started doing it about 5-6 years ago, and like I'll openly admit this, the way I do it, like, and still to this day, I can lay a track out, but I will go in with my friend called Alex, who's got his own studio, and he's like an engineer. He ghostwrites for loads of people. That's his job, and he does all sorts. But he can touch up songs, or like you could literally take a song in, say I want my song to sound like this, and I found this a cappella. But I went in with him when I first started. He would then show me, and I remember he would like do it and then delete it and go, right, you do it. I'm like, you've not just deleted that.
That's an interesting technique.
But that's how, just to show that I was listening to him and stuff. So yeah, I had a few tracks signed on various labels like Vanilla Ace, his label, did a few remixes on there. But then I'm not trying to be like this, but I know a few people, shall we say, that have got good contacts with the big names. So I was sending my tunes to the big labels, and there's like one, I won't say the names on here, the label, but I was waiting. They'll always get back to me, and it's like, great song, but not for us. I was like, oh God. And then there's one song I sent to them, it's called The Question, mad sample, somebody on BBC Radio. It's all about the drug scene from the 80s. So I sent it to this label, and they're like, this is really good, don't send it to anyone else, and then we'll give you a definitive answer in a couple of weeks.
Right.
So I waited like 6 weeks, and again, this is where you've got to learn about not being too eager, but you've got to, there's a difference between being persistent and being a pest. It's like anything, it's like sales, dating, whatever, everything. So I emailed him and I was like, have you had any further thoughts? And he said, just give us a couple more weeks and we'll get back to you, but don't send it to anyone else. Nearly 18 weeks went by, a long time, and I sent it to a few DJs to play.
And that's always good to do, because then if they get a good reaction or some sort of footage, then you could use that as proof for the label as well, like, look, it's popping off.
Yeah, because I think that, but I've learnt that now, because I was a bit more fixated on, I want to be on this label. I've got friends now that, like, they don't care, they just want big names to play them. Do you know what I mean? And that's, but again,
it's just getting it out there.
If you get a big person playing it, then labels will pick it up. But then there's the other side, it'll be on a label, they'll be like, oh, who's this guy? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I got it back, and they just wrote a big email saying, really good, but it's not quite for us. And I was like, oh God, and I felt devastated.
It's kind of like you put all your eggs in one basket.
I did I did his ass and everything, but at least they were honest. But they get sent hundreds a day. Do you know what I mean? So then I just thought, right, I'm not gonna just not do anything with it. So I just thought, right, I'll do my own thing. So I spoke to my friend who's got his label, and then he spoke to me about a distributor to use. And I had the concept. So the name Mando, like, I'm a massive geek, I love Star Wars and Marvel.
I thought that was like Mandalorian.
So obviously the tagline in the TV show is, this is the way. So my tagline is, music is the way.
Love it, yeah.
And the concept of it is, I feel like I'm just ripping Mando off, but, but it makes sense. So
it's somebody that's inspired you, so it's a good mindset.
So like, I'm the leader of Mandalore, that's how I look at it, right? And obviously in Mando, you've got people that keep the helmets on, people that don't. They're all different clans, aren't they? But yet they still believe the same thing. So when I said to earlier, like that piano tune, and then you've got the flip side, there's that massive fast techno tune. They're all different. Imagine they're different, like the genres of the different clans
like that,
shall we say, but again, they still sort of have the same vibe.
Yeah, they all fit the same, like.
That's it. That's my goal.
Yeah, that's sick.
And then, so like the all the artwork's all got that sort of sci-fi, fantasy theme to it. Just me being a kid, really enjoying what I like.
Cool, you've had a vision and you've.
That's it. I've stuck to it. But then, like, I released the first single, and then I got. One of my friends, Smitsy, he goes under the name State 8. He said, oh, I love this concept, can I do a remix for you? I never even dreamed of having a remix. So we put it out, like the song was called The Question, and then there was his remix, but then people said, oh, who's State 8? And I went, well, on the next couple releases, you'll hear his single.
Yeah.
And then my friend Neil, also known as Stupid Boy, don't ask why, but he had a few good tunes, so I said, look, I tried to help him get. He's only just started playing. He's very creative, but like he didn't really know sort of where to send music to and stuff. So I gave him a few contacts, but again, and it's sad to hear that it's good tunes, but because he's not got that presence online of like 1 million followers, which is rubbish.
I can go off on a tangent anyway. I know, you've got to do all these things just to do one.
Exactly. Like, just to go a little sidestep, if I'm a promoter, yeah, and you had 10,000 followers and this person had 70,000 followers, unfortunately, you're going to pick the one that's got more of that, and it's a shame, do you know what I mean? Because good, talented people are getting sidelined. Anyway, Neil was obviously his good tunes, so I was like, look, we'll put them out, no problem.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh yeah, I'll remix Neil's. So like the second single, it had like 2 remixes, but then whoever remixed it would be sort of teeing them up for the single. So
it sounds like it snowballed essentially.
Yeah, that's what it did. So, but then I was like, right, I want to do something decent with it. So one of my first other gigs I ever played was at the Harley.
Classic venue. Right. First gig I played in town.
I think it was like second or third. There was that one at DQ, as I said, and then there was a Harley. And you remember, is it Tom Wetherall?
Tom Wetherall, the guy who booked me as well.
He booked me, that's it.
Oh, shout out Tom.
Yeah, big up Tom. But he booked Kai Gibbons, who's going as FOMO.
Yeah.
Who's obviously now Gorgon City.
Which is mad, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Wow,
I know, and I remember Kai turned up. Kai, I don't even know him properly, but I don't want to say that. But I remember he turned up late to the Harley. And he was smashed, and he was like staying in the room upstairs, and I was playing on this little tiny table with like a blanket over it, like 1000 deck, 1800 deck, a mixer that had 4 knobs missing, and it was just crazy. So, but anyway, I wanted to go back to where I did it all, because DQ was gone, so we did Mando Records, the party, shall we say, at the Harley, and that was good. So that was on the 11th of March, which was the Saturday, because my single came out the day before. And then I was like, right, this was good, we'll do it next month.
Just every release.
We did it, but whoever had the release, they got to play the main slot.
Nice.
So Neil did it, and then after that, and so on. But then, I did a party at Fez Club, the new one in town.
Oh, the one that's car park, bottom of the car park.
Yeah. Next, just off.
It's behind West Street Live, isn't it?
Weird. Well, it was tram lines, and it just flopped simply because of the weather. I mean, I was running about daft old. I remember I went in town at like 5 a.m. Saturday morning, so I didn't get caught, and I was putting like big posters up everywhere, and it's hard work when you do it on your own and running around after other people. But the weather just seemed to have a massive impact.
So it weren't last year, year before.
Year before.
Yeah, I remember that absolute fucking whitewash. Yeah. Oh, bad day.
But no,
it's all weekend, weren't it?
Yes, they were up, mate.
It's not like you just you got the bad day.
No.
It was just,
Me and Tonna, we were playing at Walkabout. We get asked, we've been booked there a couple of years now, and we play all like classics house, but because we are considered younger to other people, shall we say, that play at those events, we just put our twist on it. So we had that to do first, and then all the stuff at Fez Club, and I was just, So after that, I just thought, right, I was just chucking too much at it, like at time, so I said we'll just have a break from it, and we'll just sort of focus on the releases. And yeah, the little pause of events was good, and we did one at Plot 22 last July? Yeah, and that was
a great venue, and I feel like that's perfect kind of space moving forwards for you to do stuff.
Sold out, packed, but it wasn't me doing all that. There was a big up Plot. They did all the work. They just said, look, we want to have you on, and the promoter got in touch with me. He was running around doing the posters and everything, because I'm no offence, I've done my time doing that.
Yeah, this is it.
And obviously I work full time, I've got my daughter, she's 9, so I've not got as much time to go around slapping posters up at silly o'clock in the morning.
It's different gear now, isn't it?
Exactly, mate. But no, it was good in there. It was good in plot. So, but what I don't know if you've seen, but what we have got booked is so it Love to Be in Sheffield.
Yeah, I went to one at Forge.
Yeah,
Is it still up there?
They've got the one on Bank Holiday Sunday. They've got Sam Divine headlining.
Yeah,
but they're closing the street off.
Oh,
they've locked the street off.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But they've asked me to host Mando in the workroom.
Yeah, that's such a good little space as well.
So like Watty, I've known Watty for years from like, do you remember Nylon Bar where Roxy Disco is?
Oh, I don't know. No, I think that's just a bit before my time.
He used to run an event called Electrosexual in there, which again was all like Dave Spoon, Calvatron.
It does ring a bell.
He's involved with Love to Be now with Tony and Mark, and yeah, I sent him a few bits from the label and my stuff, and he's been playing a few of them at the last few events, and they just said, would you like to host a little room? And I was like, yeah, sound, mate.
Yeah.
And obviously that's great for, not just for me, it's great for the people that are obviously playing as well. Yeah, but that's very good exposure for the label. So yeah, from March 23 till now, we've got 25 singles and loads of free downloads as well. And I guess the next step, I'll tell you now about it. So it's great running it and looking after other people and giving them a leg up and stuff, but it took a bit of time away from me doing music, my own stuff. So now this year that I've got a bit more time, I'm going to put it back into me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because yes, it is a reflection of me, but having my own music, I've not had as much time to do that.
Well, this is it, and obviously you've still got passion for it, so...
That'll never go.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm going to do a single, the plan's a single for end of March, and then an EP, a 3-tracker, before that Love to Be event, and then I want to drop an album by end of September, and that'll have the 6 new stuff that I've been working on, and then the 6 previous singles from myself on the label, and it's just basically a journey from the start to now, what I like.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's my goal.
When is it, that event, the Love to Be one?
25th of May, I think it's a bank holiday. You know, because Monday's a bank holiday.
So is it on the Sunday then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it'll be good that. Be a good day.
That's what I mean. I think I just went by chance when I went to one a couple of years ago, and that was the one in like September. They do 2, do they? Yeah, that's
they did a few. I mean, they did. I went to one in December, and then they do about 2 or 3 a year. But it's not just in Sheffield. Love to Be's been going on.
It started in Sheffield, though, didn't it?
It's Leeds.
Oh, close. God damn it.
But no, it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
And then they do it in like Manchester. They've got it in Australia. I remember going to it. They've done it at Plug before. So. Yeah, to have Mando at Love to Be's nice.
Yeah,
I'm proud of that.
It's a nice thing to be able to tick off.
Yeah, I mean it's great, and yeah, it should be. Well, I know it'll be a good day.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a good direction for the year there. You know what you want from it, and it's just about taking it forwards and making sure everything comes out.
I mean, like I said, he's busy running a label. It's great to see friends get gigs and stuff, and I've met some new people from it that I became good friends with.
Yeah.
Obviously we've got, like you said, that snowball effect. I've got like the remix EP coming out, and I forgot about that. You know what I mean? So it's just people say, yeah, I'm pleased with it, and I like the vision, how it's turned out, and because again, I was just sick of people. I used to let it affect me a lot. Like people say, "Oh, Kyle plays too heavy, plays this," and I probably did. But now, like not in an arrogant way. Like I literally don't. I don't care. If you go to a library, right? Not everyone's gonna like the same book, are they?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So with Mando, like I do it because I like it. And then if someone else likes it, then for me that's a bonus. If no one else doesn't like it, then well, it doesn't really matter.
It's just finding them people, innit? That's it.
But again, yeah, for years I played so many different genres. Like playing at Plug was obviously great, But I remember we used to have to, you laugh at this, we used to have to email them every Monday morning a screenshot of a record box, like the history of what we played.
PRS?
Yeah, but they were like, why have you played, for that, but they're like, you know that song, never play that again, why have you done this? Or, so as time went on, like, they were just sort of, I guess it's like, they know you've got the tools, so they were just telling you what to do in a way.
Yeah.
I had a friend that played it,
sometimes.
I had a friend that played it Players.
Yeah, but it's like that.
Right, but he loved like his real underground, minimal techno stuff. But because he could play on the decks, he was getting like £400 or £500 a week in Players. But the records, it was stuff, he fucking hated it.
Yeah.
So what would you do? Rather be balling for something you're good at, or get paid nothing but play what you want? And it's finding that.
Done a bit of both, and I know which one I'd rather do. Put it that way.
Yeah. But the dream is, well, to play what you want and get a good partner back for it.
That's it.
But yeah, that's that.
I think you just got to trust your little journey and just keep persevering.
I'm sticking to it, mate. It seems to be going well, and now I've just got a bit more of that freedom, I guess, the time to do it this year, because I've had a lot on, like I was focusing on my work. I've just bought a house, which
so
is
it's not been your full focus there.
No, it's not that. But now that those little things are ticked off, we're laughing.
I mean, this is it. Over there, like important things to get sorted anyway.
The daughter comes first.
Exactly.
First and foremost.
100%.
You know what I mean? She's great though. Do you know what I mean? When I go through promos, like on a Friday night, like my Friday nights, Pizza Friday.
Nice.
I can't remember the last time I didn't have a pizza on a Friday. We just make them, but even if she's not there, I still do it myself.
Yeah, you got your tradition.
But she'll like sit and listen to promos with me, and I'll be like, "What do you think of this?" And he goes, "No." So like, I literally won't play it.
So she must have a good ear as well then.
She does. There's a song, I'll send it you, and I got the vocal from Splice. It's called I'll Be There, and I showed it as me, and she was like, "Oh, is this about me?" And I was like, when I listened to it, I'm like, do you know what? Yeah, it is. So that artwork, there's a picture of me and her, like,
proper wholesome.
So like, I changed it. That's the only cover that's not like sci-fi in your face, but yes, good.
Oh yeah, no, that's a good time that, and sometimes you've got to change it when it's that special for you as well,
yeah,
isn't it?
Definitely, it's good.
So you're talking about genres then and all different stuff you go through, but have you got a song that you reckon you've played out the most, or like, you know, that's in a lot of your sets, like a staple song?
Yeah, for me, it's probably Chris Lake, Green Velvet Deceiver. I always play it.
Yeah.
Like, and I've always liked it because it's just, yeah, that I can't. There's a funny behind it actually. One of my friends went at the Mando event, the second one, Neil, because he was doing the main set. I remember, not even the first one. I'm sure he said to me, he texted my mate saying, "Can I play that song?" Now, even though it's not mine, right? My friend's like, "Have you really just asked him if you could play that?" It's like his signature tune.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of an ongoing joke now. Like, if someone's on a line up with me, they just, no, we don't do that.
They know. That's it though. That's the way it should be. If they know it's your like a tune you drop every time anyway.
Yeah, it's good. But I remember as well, he made like a VIP of it, and I just saw it on videos, and I'm like, "Oh, we just," and I asked my friend who knows him very well, and I said, "Look, is there any chance you can get that?" And he goes, "Look, I'm one of his best mates and I've not even got it, so you got fucking no chance." But the day before that first Mando event, it got released, and I was like, "Yes, finally!" And I got to do it.
I love it when something comes out just before a big set, and you're like, "Yes, I can put it in."
Yeah, it was good. But yeah, that's a song. It's more towards these days what I play.
Yeah,
that's what I'll always drop that.
Nice.
Some people really like it, some don't.
Well, each to their own.
If I'm playing in a bar at like 8 o'clock, no, I won't.
Well, you know your time and your place.
But if it's like a Robertson booking, shall we say, then I will. Because again, I'll play. I mean, you must have it as well. If people book True Fiction, or if you work in a bar, you're not going to play like all the bangers at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, are you? That's just work. I'll still put my twist on it, do you know what I mean, to reflect it's me, I suppose.
It's like mixing techniques and little signatures
you know
and
stuff like that. But Yeah, no. So going back, I'll always play that tune when suitable.
Yeah, good shout. There's something else I usually ask people is if there is an album they had to listen to for the rest of their life, what would it be and why?
Oh God.
Yeah, this is where it's a bit of a struggle sometimes, this one.
I don't know if it's like dance related or rock related, because like I said, I used to play drums.
I struggle with this. Mine changes from day to day, I swear down.
Can I name a couple or not? No, is it
Go on, yeah.
Well,
One way that I've actually done with DJs in past is have an album and then have a mixtape or something like that.
Yeah. Oh God. I guess for dance music, it's not really an album, but it's a soundtrack from films. You'd either have like something from like the It's All Gone Pete Tong or Trainspotting.
Yeah,
those
yes.
soundtracks are like iconic.
Like timeless, isn't it? It
Yeah.
just puts you straight in that era.
Guess what? Maybe an album's. I don't know. I've never been asked that before, but I remember one album that will always stand out, and it does have a core memory to me, big time. And I was talking about this with my mate the other day, actually. So when I lived in Hong Kong, right, every kid in school had to play an instrument.
Right.
Now, when I moved there, I couldn't play anything, and the first day was music, my first ever lesson. And they're like, we've got a new student today, and we're doing solo performances. You can go first. I'm like, listen, mate, I can't fucking play anything. You got kids that have got like grade 6, 7 piano, and I'm like, fucking teenager, balls are just dropping, my voice is going. So he goes, you're gonna have to sing. And I sang Oasis in literally a room about this size, Wonderwall, in front of about people were just there, like watching you, really enclosed.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you got a 3 out of 20, mate. And that was my first day at school. Do you know what I mean?
Intense.
And I remember phoning my mum. He goes, oh, we've not got a drummer in class. And I remember like phoning my mum, and I was like, look, I've not spent my dinner money. I'm going to buy some drumsticks. And I remember I just didn't even have enough money, but I pocketed a CD from HMV and I got Blink 182, Enemy of the State, and that, for me, that album sort of just like, I guess for the whole drumming and thing. Yeah. I remember going home and putting the pillows on my bed. It's not the greatest of album, but it's an important memory to me. That.
One of them, Travis Barker, is a good drummer to
Mate, he was
inspire towards.
He was just cool, wasn't he,
Yeah.
Travis? He was covered in tattoos, he collected Cadillacs for a hobby,
Yeah.
and if you're drummer then, that's what you wanted to be like.
That's it.
Just badass, right?
Yeah, I've seen him at Leeds Fest, maybe like 2010, when stage flips and stuff like that. And it's just like that.
Because he did stuff with a band called like the Transplants, and he's recorded loads of stuff for hip hop people. See, a lot of people think of me, they just go, oh, you're just this house head, but like I know all sorts. I was talking to my mate Stevie like about all the Korn albums, and like, how do you know that?
I went to see Korn last year.
I know it all. Say like Slipknot's first album, incredible.
Yeah.
Love that.
So, usually first up I say, when you think of Sheffield, what's first thing that comes to mind?
For me, well, probably like my first memory, I guess, like Leadmill, probably. Because that's all I sort of knew when I first arrived.
Were you going there a lot?
Well, I lived bang opposite.
Well. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was bang opposite Leadmill, and then I went to obviously Crasher, and then there was Kingdom.
Kingdom? Oh,
yeah.
That's a throwback, yeah. Thought about that.
Because it was Kingdom and it was Embrace.
Yeah.
But I used to, because I played a lot of rugby, when I was at Harlem, so we were in there every Wednesday, like with this rugby team, just. I look back and they're just like, wait, Papa, lads, do you know what I mean? Like,
getting Larry and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's just, I love playing rugby, I played at a good level, but it was just, that wasn't for me. So yeah, Sheffield, I guess, Leadmill, that's probably what I think of.
Yeah, good shout. What do you think is going to happen with it? I mean,
I don't really know, to be honest.
It's all up in air, innit?
Mm.
Well, hopefully it gets sorted sooner or later. So usually I'd say, like, if you could bring back a classic venue in Sheffield, where would it be?
Probably DQ.
Yeah, that is
joking.
What a lot of people say, but then again, depends what generation they're from.
No, because you had it was downstairs at first.
Yeah.
because when Waggy did sunrise sessions, I remember like people were like, well, obviously it was a smash, but we were wearing like sunglasses in the venue, and the sun would come beaming in on Sunday morning.
Before they had blacked out windows.
Yeah, that's what it did. That's what. And then they had the little upstairs. Mate, we used to have. We brought Steve Angelo. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, bloody hell.
This is what this little story. He was playing at Plug, and because again we were doing it at DQ, and he was like, "Can I come back to your guys' party?" And we're like, "Yeah." And so like he'd come round with security guards and all this, and something happened to him. Unfortunately, he got smacked in the face by some kid on stage.
Night?
Yeah, the stage was just packed. You remember how? Like the door was there, and they put like a stage.
Was it when the stage was like set bars there? It was there. Yeah.
Right. So everyone was just on stage, and everyone was wanting to get on to see Steve Angelo. Yeah. They're like, "Oh, can we?" And it was just too busy. And Maggie said, "Kyle, just tell this, like, unless they're working here, just tell them to leave or whatever." And I was like to this kid, like, "Look, I'm not being a dick, mate, but it's just too busy." And he pushed me out of the way, and he went, bang, he headbutted Steve, and his nose was gushing everywhere. And then so we like chased him through say that's the bar, you know, and there's a fire door.
Yeah, heart into back.
Yeah, so like we're running after this guy, and then my friend was outside just on the floor, and I went, "Smithy," and he just put his foot out, and this kid went flying, and Steve Angelo like literally grabbed this kid and just decked him once. And we're like, "Steve, we're really sorry." And he goes, "It's cool, my driver's here, I'm off, bye."
At least he got his revenge.
And then a few hours later, well, not a few hours, it was like the next day, he sent a video to Waggy on BlackBerry Messenger.
That's throwing it back as well.
Like a little video of him playing one of his songs that he gave him the night before.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, DQ, 100%.
Big shout.
It was good times in there. I learned a lot from obviously playing, and yeah, saw loads of amazing DJs. Not just in the nights I was involved with and promoted, but you had like Threads on a Saturday.
Yeah, I remember a night called Lightworks that were really good.
Yeah, them lads, what were they called? Skullduggery, did their thing upstairs. Club Pony. I remember Fate Blood at Club Pony. You know what I mean?
Line up, yes.
Very good.
That's right, there were loads. What were it? Oscillate Wildly.
Rubber Dub was it once or something? Them lads from Newcastle.
Kid doing Roots.
Yeah. Mate, you can't touch it, it was good.
Some classic times. Oh, what we do to bring it back.
Yeah. The amount of times you know the little wall opposite, mate, the amount of times we used to sit on there when it was like silly o'clock. Had some good.
Just the amount of people I just see throwing up over there and stuff like that.
We went down in a fire truck once. That was. But it was.
As you do.
No, it was a Sunday, and it was my friend's birthday, and his friend's job, he used to rent this fire truck and the 18 van out for like hen parties.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Let's get the fire truck for his birthday." And I was like, "Waggy, we're coming down, we've got some friends that work in the fire brigade, can they get in?" He's like, "How many?" And I went, "Oh, 10, but that was us." And we literally rocked up to DQ in this like fire truck wearing trousers, just silly.
Love it. Yeah, that sounds like a good laugh. So, if you had to go out somewhere these days, where do you reckon you'd go?
These days, I mean, well, I don't live in Sheffield now anymore. I've moved to Rotherham. So
it's not too far.
Do you know what? I used to have this perception that I thought Rotherham was miles away.
Yeah.
It's really not.
No.
You know,
it's just on the side of M1, really.
Obviously, I'm a bit old. I don't.
What, you're not going out in Rotherham?
No. Wickersley's nice to go out in the daytime. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't like. It's not that I don't like going out as much now. It's I prefer going out on a day session. But I mean, Tanks obviously gets the names in. Do you know what I mean?
Big lineups.
But there's not really for like our time compared to now. I mean, it used to have Plug, Crasher, DQ, Harley.
Yeah.
What you tell me? What venues have you got now? You've got
Dryad.
You've got Dryad.
Yeah.
You've got obviously
Forge.
Hopeworks is going, and then you've got Tank. They're the only ones that I can really think of. Big venues.
Cool, but again, not really many events get put on there anymore.
No, that's it. There's a little place near Bramwell Lane what's that called? Zizzy's Bar, Jeffy's Bar. Been in there.
I've been to that Steamworks, but that's I don't know if that's more that kind of thing. That's like your day events, you know, like your food stuff more.
Yeah, I mean, you can always just have a good afternoon up at the Forum and just walk your way down Division Street. That's what I prefer to do these days.
That's a good shout, that. Yeah. Like a town pre-drink.
I went out with my mate on a bank holiday Sunday and we did, just don't judge me for it, but we did like a bottomless brunch in Turtle Bay. Do you know what? Well worth it.
As long as you got your money's worth.
Well, that's it. We were going to go down like round here, and I just thought by the time you buy a drink and a meal, that's a couple of drinks and a meal. That's going to be like 30 odd quid or something.
Easy.
Went to Turtle Bay. We just walked through the menu. We got like 14 cocktails and food for the same amount. Like, sound.
This is it. It's up to that matter.
Because you have a good night's sleep and then you're not wasted the next day. Whereas before, we used to go out at like 9, 10 o'clock at night, and then you come in at probably, well, it's silly o'clock. That's it.
It depends. Sometimes sun would be up. No, sounds like a better vibe. Well, it's each their own, in it, but like everyone's got different motives, and it's people going through at different times as well, I guess.
I mean, I think I don't like saying it. It only came up the other day, but going out and in the venues and times now, like I still say I think lockdown definitely had a massive effect on it. Not just in Sheffield, but like in London and Manchester. You see a lot of these events now that start at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and finish at 11 o'clock at night. Do you know what I mean? Love to Be's, that's the time they're doing.
Yeah.
There's a brand called Love Box down in London, and they do like daytime parties.
That Day Fever, that's based. I think they started that one up here as well.
So it's cool. Do you know what I mean? But again, that's probably just what's changing.
Yeah, and I've said it a few times, but I don't think like some of the younger generation know how to go out.
No.
Necessarily, especially if, like, say you turned 18 in the middle of
lockdown. You won't last long.
Oh god, yeah. But like, since they didn't really go out for that couple of years when lockdown wrapped in, and then I don't think things have necessarily been quite the same since as well.
I've still got friends that still work at home.
Yeah.
Because of it.
Yeah, I know a few people that do that as well. It seems mad. It's like, don't you get bored?
I tried it for a month and then I lost the novelty, wore off. You can see I've gone off on a few tangents today.
No, it's easy.
But imagine that working at home, mate. I'm like, there's the fridge, let's make some food. I'm like, there's my laptop, let's make a beat.
Next thing you know, it's like, time to finish work. Funny. So, you've touched on like what you could do for some daytime boozy vibes, but say someone's coming to Sheffield with you and you're not going out drinking, is there anything, anywhere you go?
I used to always like, what is it now called? It's near the train station, Triple Point Brewery.
Yeah.
I like going there. I like there because obviously the menu Twisted Burger, because they used to do it, don't laugh at the way I say burger, but, but they used to do it up at the Harley.
I remember Twisted Burger, yeah.
I guess I like when I take my daughter out, we like going, she likes going, well we go up and, no, let's take it back. I'll take her to the cinema, we to go to the light box, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plays a few games around there. I guess for food, it's a tough one.
Plenty of good food choices, isn't there?
Yeah, no, I like Triple Point for food.
Have you tried that? It's Twisted Deli they've started doing, like the right nice sandwiches. I think you got to be there early to get them though, so they sell out most days, or they were at one point. Really nice, like good ciabatta bread, right nice fillings. There's one that comes with this gravy, you dip it in and
I'll check it.
Bang it, check it out.
Obviously, Cambridge Street's good for food. One of my friends, he's just got a place in there, he's opened up called Send Nudes.
Yeah, you know what, that was the first place I went to when it opened, and really nice.
That's my mate, he runs that, so we're still yet to go down and see him.
Yeah, check it out, he's banging.
Well, he invited me and my daughter, but she wasn't well a couple of weeks ago. So
actually, that's when we had to reshuffle this, didn't we? Well,
she's alright. No, she's fine, mate. You know what I mean? But yeah, we were going to go there. But no, I like Triple Point for food. That's good. I like going to that Wong Tin restaurant.
Yeah.
Up there.
Is that just off like near Plug?
Yeah, Forbidden Planet, the game shop.
Yeah, I thought it was that
it's
one.
Upstairs, always go there. because like I love obviously Asian food from living out abroad, but it's so, for me, it's very authentic. I think it's like probably the best Chinese, or as close to living back home for me.
Nice, so yeah,
but I go
authentic as all.
I go with my mate Stevie and Paul, and like Stevie has like 2 plates and he's done, and I'm just like, what are you doing? And all you can eat is, it's a challenge.
Yeah, you don't just like, oh, I'm full, you got.
No, I will eat till I'm just like stop. And but everyone's like, what are you doing? Why are you not massive?
How have you managed it?
No.
Sound, good effort there then. And then usually ask like, have you got any independents you want to shout out? That could be shops, people like designers, all that kind of stuff.
Probably Axel at Send Nudes for Cambridge Street.
Good shout then, yeah.
Go on Axel, he probably will never watch this, but I'll send this.
I'll get him tagged in it, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean he's been like a chef for time and working at various places, so to see him sort of have his own things, very good.
Yeah,
that's it.
It's nice.
I know it sounds really bad, but I don't know as much about Sheffield as I maybe used to, because I've obviously grown up a little bit and matured.
Yeah.
Moving to Rotherham, shall we say. But no, I've been here for what? I've been in Sheffield for 11 years before I moved across there. So yeah, I still come all the time.
Yeah.
Like all my friends live here. I work in Sheffield in the day. So yeah.
So at this point, usually ask favourite food spots. I feel like we've touched on it a bit.
Food spots in
Sheffield? Yeah, so, well, yeah. I was going to say usually I'd start with takeaways, but do you get takeaways from Chef Art in Rotherham?
Do we get takeaways in Rotherham? No. Obviously I'm a sucker for a good Chinese.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have a particular one. They've changed that many times though, but I love a good set of wings, mate.
Yes, can't go wrong, can you?
Yeah, no sort of particular brand. I guess, do you like a Domino's? I had Domino's pants down once for 8 months where I got pizza for free, which was very nice.
How nice is that?
So it was a Sunday, I was feeling rough, ordered a pizza online. The little clock went by, 40 minutes, still not there. So I rang him up, I was like, look, where is it? Maybe 20 minutes. 20 minutes went by, still not there. And I said, is it ready? He went, yeah. So I drove down, which I shouldn't have. They didn't even start making it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll look after you, I'll give you a free dip. I'm like, a free fucking dip, mate. I'm not paying for that. Honestly, he's got in nearly 2 hours. So they gave me this code. The next time I went was to get a free pizza.
Yeah.
I just kept using it. Sorry, Domino's, but yeah, it worked for ages. I bought one in between now and again.
Yeah. Well, it's their own fault for not using a one-time code, isn't it?
So, yeah, I'm partial to a pizza, shall we say.
Love that. I mean, you do Pizza Friday as well. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't need to do takeaways. Yeah, and you said a couple of good spots for where you dine out in Chef.
Yeah.
So have you got a sarnie shop, or like, you know, say you're at work, have you got local sandwich shop you go to or out like that?
Local sandwich. Not at work, no, because it's a bit out in it's a bit out in the sticks. What was that one at the top of Ecclesall Road, next to that West Bank?
Woody's.
Yeah, I used to go to Woody's back, because I used to live up near there. I like Woody's.
Yeah, I used to live around the corner as well.
Sausage, bacon, egg. There's a place in Rotherham actually I go to, that's called Scales Cafe, and I just phone them up and say, can I get my usual, which is bacon, sausage, 2 eggs, black pudding, mushrooms, large roll with red sauce.
Oh, massive.
Yeah, it is. You know what I mean, but it's just got to the point to go, is that Kyle? I'm like, well, there's another Scottish person ringing in, so you just know what they're doing.
Love that accent, just gives it away straight away.
I put it on a bit, well, it just comes naturally thicker when I speak to them.
And then have you ever had a chippy of choice you go to?
I used to like, what was it, that Steps?
Whereabouts?
That's on like the back end behind, like, would I say Shadowvale? So this is how far I'm
2 steps.
2 steps,
Steps. No, I should have got that as well.
But people in Sheffield even know this chip shop in Rotherham. See, people, this is not the Rotherham show, by the way, this is the Sheffield show. Davian's, I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have heard of that actually,
Yeah.
so that's when you know it's good.
Well, with the street, because I've just moving, I lived 10 houses from that being straight
dangerous
shot on the same street. Yeah, it's bad when you walk past and you go, "Hi, Kyle." You know what I mean? And again, if I phone them up, they know. When they go, "Oh yeah, usual." So yeah, but no, Two Steps was good when I did live in Sheffield. That was nice.
That is one that comes up the most, I reckon. Yeah. So good. Top recommendations there. And then usually at this point, see, I don't know if you'd have got an affiliates, but at this point I'd be like Wednesday or United.
I mean, I can't. A lot of my friends like Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not as much. I'm more into rugby. Me. If I did have a football team, I'd probably say Wednesday, just because a lot of my friends support them.
Siding with them. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. But I remember years ago, like I like Celtic. That's my team because my granddad liked Celtic. So I'm not a massive football fan, but I remember like Rangers were playing Wednesday in a friendly years ago, and what's his name? That guy that goes around Sheffield.
John Burke.
And they all went and did him in because they thought he was a Celtic fan.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm like, do you know what I mean? And there's a few other stories from when I was younger, like my brother, he got mixed in with the wrong crowd, and I'm not trying to put a downer on it, but that's why I'm not as big into football.
Which is fair.
Because of that. I'll watch it, don't get me wrong.
I mean, sometimes people catch the bug. So, I mean, I didn't like it for years, to be fair. Only when I think...
I took one of my best mates to Manchester for the day. Like, we had these passes at work and we went to... So, oh, you can drink or you can...
Where at?
Man United's ground.
Nice.
And that, do you know what I mean? It was a good day. But it's just, some of it is... Yeah. If anything, probably Wednesday, because I do sport.
Wednesday.
No, that's alright then. I said United, If I said United, I'd be out the door.
No, I can't say no.
No.
I'm trying to be unbiased anyway.
That's fine.
Well, I've got both bottles in background.
Nice.
And then, but like usually I'm like, any other sporting interest, but rugby.
Yeah, rugby. So, again, my dad used to play a lot when we lived in Scotland, and then we moved out to Hong Kong. I was just playing out there, got selected for the under-14s, and then went right through to the under-19s academy. Got my first cap against Kazakhstan, which was, but that's when Borat just come out and you couldn't write it. We were like running and we're going like, you never get this, and every try was going like, but then I used to play a lot at uni. Then I had a few seasons up at Sheffield Tigers, and then I had a few seasons at Aberdeen Club. But then I guess music just was taking over because I couldn't attend one of the training sessions because I was playing at Plug every Thursday and stuff like that. So
like other things take priority.
Yeah, don't get me. But then I had a few that I did my shoulder, and there were some parts. I guess it's just like even with music, it's who you know. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
There's people that didn't come training, but yet they would start because they were best friends with first team captain. So people that was, I'm not saying I was like the best player, but I know I had talent more than some other players, and again we were getting sort of sidelined because we weren't fucking kissing the first team captain's ass. and that's it, and I just sort of, that put me off again a little bit, but like, no, love rugby mate, watch it all the time.
Nice. No. Also, is that your main go-to?
That's my main go-to probably mate. Yeah, just that really.
I feel like it's rugby. They've got loads of rugby on at the minute as well.
Yeah, well, Six Nations is on. We lost yesterday to Ireland.
Again. Is that again? Wait, same last
10
week?
10 in a row. 10 years.
Wait, who did we lose to last week? So
England played.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm on about.
you beat France, which was just ridiculous because France are unreal.
Yeah.
England played well and France played shit, but that was a massive result for England.
Yeah, so we got week before.
Yeah, you played Ireland.
Yeah, I watched that one. So I remember looking, scores were quite even, and next thing you know, Ireland ran away with it.
Pause this week, but then this weekend it's a pause, and then the weekend after, and this is what every Scottish person says, they don't care about Six Nations, but as long as we beat England, that's what matters. In the last 5 years, we have. Yeah. So I get it all the time, and it's not, I'm not this person like hates English people and stuff, but we have obviously, if I go to the pub here, I get ripped. But I'm like, bring it on, it's no problem. But then after the game, it's like, do you want a pint?
Yeah.
There's no issue.
No, there's no point, no hard feelings, is there? It's all just banter.
That's it. That's it. And yeah, I've got, well, I'd say I've got thick skin, but I'll go home and I'm like, no.
Like, yeah, why did you say that?
Yeah.
I'm just remembering things after, like, you bastard. Jokes. Well, let's wrap this up in a moment, but at this point I usually ask what you got coming up. I mean, I feel like you've
I guess
a lot of that, haven't you?
Yeah, well, like you said, I've not got. I might be doing something in March, towards the end of March for Mando, but it's not confirmed yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
just keep your eyes peeled.
We might just throw. Basically, I want to throw just a little event to tee people up for Love to Be.
Yeah.
Then we've got the Love to Be event in May, and then other than that, I'm just focusing on getting these tracks done for myself. Again, that's no disrespect to anyone else on the label, but I thought, right, I've given everyone else a bit of a leg up. I want to do my thing now again. So I had tons of releases on it before, but I just want to get back into doing that. Single in March, 3-track EP in May, and then the album in September. That's the plan.
Boom.
That's it.
It's a strong plan, and to see what happens after that.
Well, I've written it down.
Do you know
what I mean? I've written it down, and every day I've got this thing that pops up on my phone, and if you see it, then that's how I motivate myself. And you just you put it out there, something that will happen.
That's it. Otherwise, well, then people could come when it comes around to that time. Where's your EP? You hold yourself accountable, don't you?
Exactly. Do you know what I mean? It's like this year as well. I'm not drinking till the end of March. I did it last year. Like, I could murder a pint now. But
well, at the same time, I bet you feel better for it.
Well, obviously, with what I said, I was like something to celebrate. I could have a pint now, but because I've said I've done these 3 months, I would be kicking myself for not doing it. Yeah, no, I did it last year, and it felt really good mentally, physically. So I thought, right, let's try it again.
Yeah, and
I'll give you a shout in April.
Sound big do then, yeah.
That's it, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Love it. And where can the people find you on socials?
So, obviously, just Kyle Robertson, DJ's the Instagram one. If you want to follow Mando, that's Mando Records. And then it's the same on SoundCloud. I'm not into the TikTok thing. I do it, I put clips of the tunes that I've played on, but I'm not. Yeah, it's just my name or Mando Records and you'll see everything.
Yeah,
that's it.
So if you want to listen to some tunes, check it out.
Yeah, so
mixers, all that kind of stuff, and get ready for some new tunes to come.
That's it, mate.
Yeah,
hopefully we're good.
So, well, thanks for coming in. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, man. Enjoyed it.
And yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll end up bumping into each other again at some point this year.
Hopefully it's not like up a ladder with a mannequin that's going to attack us.
No, still freaking me out, that. I swear, even that would dry out haunted Joe, I want to know.
Sound?
Yeah, but if you're still here, don't forget to like and subscribe. On YouTube, on Spotify, on Instagram, all of that at the.what.0114. And yeah, we'll see you in a bit.
See you soon.
Peace.